Welcome to the doghouse at PetShop Bowl. I'm Amy.
And I'm Keely, and today we're going to talk about fleas and if it's really worth treating your pet to prevent fleas.
Fleas are tiny insects that live on our pets to survive and reproduce. This makes them parasites. They need a living host to survive on because they feed by piercing the skin and sucking out blood.
So the fleas you actually see on your pet are actually adult fleas, which only accounts for 5% of the problem. The rest of the problem is actually in the environment. These adult fleas, the female ones, come out to 50 eggs a day. When these hatch, they land into the carpet, bedding, rugs, anything like that. Anywhere the pet goes, they can land. These eggs then eventually hatch into larvae, which feed on the little organic bits inside the carpet and rugs and whatnot. Eventually they'll cocoon up into pupae, in which case they can stay there for up to 6 months without hatching. When they do hatch, once they sense an animal nearby, they then land on the pet again, and then that starts up the whole cycle.
So your pets may start to itch and scratch a lot more, and you'll probably notice black specks on their skin. If the initial signs do go unnoticed, then these symptoms could potentially be a lot worse. You could see rashes, skin sores, skin wounds, and even hair loss as well. If your pet is actually allergic to fleas, then the symptoms could actually become very extreme. If your pet's a young kitten or puppy, then they get anemia from this, and it could potentially be life-threatening. Also, fleas actually spread worm eggs too, and they eat them when they're living in the ground. And when your pet licks themselves or, cleans themselves, they could actually swallow a flea, and this could cause worm eggs actually living inside your pet and going through the system, and then your pet could have fleas and worms too.
So if your pet actually caught fleas and you hadn't prevented it in the first place, then like we said earlier, only 5% of the fleas on the pet accumulates in 5% of them, so that's obviously not a big part of the problem. 95% of the problem is actually in the environment. So not only would you have to treat your pet plus all the other pets they come in contact with, so you have dogs and cats, they'll all have to be treated. You'd also have to treat the environment, so you'd have to hoover a lot, potentially spend a lot of money in flea treatments for carpets and shampoos and things like that. You'd also have to wash bedding regularly on really hot washes. You then, because the fleas get coming back, so in the environment, you could spend a lot of money on veterinary bills to basically reduce the symptoms that pets might have, like the rashes and things we spoke about. And then additionally, you might yourself have to suffer with a lot of flea bites for potentially several months, just trying to get rid of the fleas and the cycle that they're going through.
You could do, but it would be much more expensive, much more difficult, and much more time consuming to do it that way, rather than just regularly treating your pet in the first place.
Yeah, a lot of people think my pet doesn't go out a lot, so why can't I treat them? Whereas actually people can bring fleas in the house as well. So every time we go out, a flea doesn't know the difference between us and a dog. They'll just see something moving, jump on, and they can then land on the pet from us going into the home. Also, if you've got a dog, for example, they go into the back garden, but that's pretty much it. Also, wild animals like birds, foxes, rabbits, they can leave a trail of flea eggs behind in the garden. They can just get them from going in their own garden.
Flea treatments for pets come in several different types, including spot-on solution, spray solution, tablets, liquid for swallowing, and collars too. Spray solutions are very effective, but people often find they're a little more difficult to use and apply. However, they are more suitable for smaller kittens and puppies that aren't suitable for any other forms of treatment. Flea collars are popular because of how easy they are to use, but they aren't believed to be as effective as other forms of treatment. Some are believed to cause skin problems too when the pet has used them for a long period of time.
Yeah, and tablets and liquids are also very effective, but they're generally not as nice and pleasant for the pet as they usually are forced down the throat and whatnot. So at PetShop Bowl, the best selling flea treatment that we sell is the Frontline. We've got it in all different sizes for dogs and also in cats. We have them in 3 packs and in 6 packs. And inside they look like this, so you get pipettes. What you have to do is snap the top off, and then on a dog, like a little example here, you just have to put it in about 3 spots down the neck, right on the skin so you separate the hair, and let it work for about 2 days. Don't bath them, don't handle them till it's dry around the neck, and it will last at least 4 weeks in your pet. So altogether, this is why we think it's definitely a lot easier and a bit better for your pet to prevent fleas rather than treat if they ever got fleas.
Yeah, so go on petshop.co.uk to protect your pet.
Yeah.